Hi, it's Wednesday, and yes, you can hear the dull roar of children learning. Today will be a fun learning day, which we'll get to here shortly. If it's not fun, it'll at least be memorable. But we'll get to that. Skyward is updated, except for the kids who didn't have it turned in. We'll get there in a moment, and we're done with our novel. What's up, sugars?
I have to say my daily thing. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and make the bell go ding. That's how it's like.
Because the kid that's overdosing at sugar at 9 a.m. she likes the little sound of the ding. Let's see, no one in here because everyone in here took tests, so you guys are good to go. I had to write down my kids who were gone yesterday to make my life easier. But the next screen does have kids in this class.
Go. Oh, Corey.
Those two. So I'm assuming, did you? Alright, well, in that case, you'll still have to stand because I checked it this morning, so now I have to torture you. Angelina, you can sit over here if you want.
I'll sit.
You want to sit? Alright. Did you want to stand? Okay. And then I'll check it after class to make sure I don't have to be as mean to you. And then you have iPad so you can work on a thing. Yes, Angelina. Good job, Angelina.
You sound so depressed when you said, I'm going to have to
Wait, can you go back?
No?
I want to see who's the other kids.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said no.
Oh.
Let's see, then the novel, you will be turning them in just a moment. You should have a little number on the bottom of it, so I have to make sure that your number matches up to the one that you're putting in.
Number 10.
And that you didn't just randomly steal another kid's, and that make sure you have a cover on there.
Where's my number?
You don't have a book cover.
What is I saw that look. I did not agree to that.
You're supposed to.
I saw my
And so, you're not turning them in yet. We're going to have you turn them in at the same time we're doing a notes thing. So we're going to try and do like a double meeting. Alright, so this bottom part where it says hashtag remember the yellow sheet.
No.
Why would you do this?
What does that mean?
Read directions, but I don't want to.
On the bright side, this actually does not mean read the directions.
I did that. What?
But you're close. Different verb, not read directions.
Follow.
So I'm going to verbally say directions to you, and then you just have to make sure that you
Can you
follow
write it
them.
down?
You can write it down if you want.
Oh.
So, oh look, I did write it down. It's literally in front of you right there. So on your little piece of paper that you have there, hopefully you have written your first and last name in the spot that says name. That's the little arrow that's pointing to the name spot. You are going to be having to bring this thing back all the way until winter break. So we're going to be doing poetry for the next, I know, several weeks.
Wait, poetry? I'm so good at writing.
Back. Then today's notes, we're going to see on the left-hand side where it says notes, that's where we're going to be doing notes. But as we go through it, this little area at the top is the only area we're going to be using for now. See the little area that has the little arrows pointing to it?
Yes.
We're not using that yet. We're going to use it at the end of the class period, well, middle of the class period. So this first part, you are just writing up here in this square. If you're a big writer, because I apparently didn't give some kids enough room to write, because some of you guys write like giant elephants, I mean that in a nice way, then you can use this area over here, and you should, our memory poem, because remember back during short stories when we got to do the characters, the setting,
Yes, I love that.
and then we learned about poetry, and you had to memorize that poem that you had to do in front of the entire class. No, that's next week. So next week is when you're going to have the memory poem, and this is where you're going to get a chance to write it down, and we're going to have a whole new thing for you to do. But the good news is you get 5 more B points for memorizing this one.
Okay.
But again, if you need room, you can write over here. Hi, what's up, complaining?
Other people too, or is it just?
I'm sorry, you started off and then you put your hand over your face and started mumbling. So let's go with penguin.
That's
Well, she didn't ask a question, so I didn't have to give an answer.
I asked what the heck? Like, do we have? Can we do it with someone else, or do we have to do it by ourselves?
You can teach other kids.
No,
Would that get us more B points?
Of course it will.
Look at that.
Okay,
But if you want to be entertained, you can look at Macy's face to watch how happy she is with me when I teach. Oh, so much good stuff. So to here's where you're going to be writing down 4 sentences. And here's where it's going to make life tough for you a little bit. So you're going to write down the definition of a simile, definition of a metaphor. Then you're going to have to create your own example of a simile and create your own example of a metaphor. And I'm aware Many of you guys have no idea how to write a simile or metaphor. That's okay.
I do.
If you
English
do,
poem.
yay, that makes life a little bit better.
I know
If you
poems
don't,
as well.
that's also okay. It's going to make other people's lives a little bit better today. And so, definition of simile, compare two different things by using the words like or as. You are as silly as a goose, where I'm comparing you to a goose by saying silly. You run like a dead turtle, so I'm comparing you to a turtle and the fact that you're not very fast. Those are similes. Metaphor is a little bit tougher. Compare two different things by stating one thing is the other one. Your hair is a dead rat on your head. I'm just saying your hair is a dead rat. Your feet are large canoes on the ends of your legs, where I'm just saying your feet are canoes. So you have to say one thing is the other thing. So you're going to write a definition and a definition. Then you're going to have to write a simile and write a metaphor. And you're going to want to label which one is which. Because when I'm going to go in a moment, Lily reads your example of a simile, and then Lily goes, I don't know which one is which. Then we get to attack you and make fun of you. So make sure you label which one is which, and it'll make your life a little bit better. While you're doing this, I'm going to be calling you up to bring me your book. Home children, we're going to pause so I can take books, and then we're going to come back in just a moment and be all kinds of excited. Because this is not the fun part of class yet. The fun part's still coming. And trust me, there's a chance at least 4 of you will smile. Hi, Melina Marie, what's up? Hey, we got all the books, and the kids are super excited to read their similes and metaphors. That's all they've been doing is going, I can't wait to read mine. And I was like, okay. But before you get to read it, you have one more thing to do. So go down to the part that has the little arrows, and we're going to write 3 more little notes to help you out. This way we're going to try to help make sure your similes and metaphors are not super embarrassing when you have to read them out loud. So we have, these are the 3 things, the notes we're going to have you add to your stuff to help you out. The first one, you have to be comparing 2 nouns. In a simile or metaphor, every simile, every metaphor compares 2 nouns. So the other part, you don't have to write down, just make sure you know, like it can't be comparing a verb, it can't be comparing adjectives. You can't put like Dylan is tall as a metaphor, because Dylan is a noun, tall is an adjective. That's not going to work. You can't say Macy runs down the street. That doesn't compare anything. You have Macy and then you have runs, so you have to make sure you have 2 different nouns. You could say Harlow's shirt is a giant ball of bubble gum. That would work because now we're comparing shirt and gum. So you have to make sure you have 2 nouns. So if you don't want me to have to, embarrass you, if you look at your similes and metaphors, you might want to make sure you can find 2 nouns in there. If not, then there's a chance it may be wrong. The next part, the 2 nouns you compare cannot be the same thing. This is going to make you giggle, and then in a moment, you're going to make this exact same mistake. So, as an example, you cannot compare 2 things that can be the same. As in, you can't compare a whale to a fish. They're both sea creatures that swim and go splash, splash. So if you wrote down, that fish is as big as a whale, that doesn't really work. Or that fish swims like a whale. Again, whale and fish are 2 similar. So you could put like, the fish moves like a submarine. That's fine. Fish and submarine are different. So other examples I've had was like, that cat eats as much as Garfield. I'm like, well, Garfield is a cat, unless you're talking about the president from the 1800s. You also, I've had kids go, when I fell, the floor was as hard as the ground. And I was like, what are you comparing? And they're like, the floor and ground. I go, they're the same thing. They go, no, they're spelled different. I go, that's not how it works. So make sure the 2 things you're comparing are 2 different things. Just like you can't compare me to a teacher. I am a teacher. I know it gets confusing sometimes in my class, but you can't say, Mr. Brovicast acts like a teacher in class, because I am a teacher. You can compare me to a clown, because technically I'm not a clown. You could compare me to a demon, because there's no physical proof I'm a demon. So you have to make sure that you're comparing 2 different things. And trust me, one of you, with your examples, is going to compare 2 of the same thing. I don't know who it is yet, but I've yet to have a class period where someone doesn't do it. And then finally, You cannot use the word looks in your simile or metaphor. If you do, that makes it a weak sauce globetrotter thing. So if you put looks in there, I get to come at you. So as an example, if you put that dog looks like an angry lion, that's weak sauce globetrotter. Instead, to turn that into a metaphor, you take out the word, or to turn it into a simile, take out the word looks and put in the word is, and now you have that dog is like an angry lion. Now that's a good simile. So do not use the word looks anywhere in there. All right, so we have those bits down. We feel strong with what we have?
Yes.
Wait.
I am waiting. Time to begin today's game. So here's how today's game is going to work. Charlotte has volunteered to go first because she feels really strong and she feels confident about this whole thing, and I might good job, Charlotte. Charlotte is going to pick either simile or metaphor, but she's not going to tell us which one it is. You get your choice and you're going to read it out loud. Xavier has volunteered to go second because he's even braver. What Xavier's going to do is he has to answer questions about what Charlotte reads. If, when she gets done reading it, if he says it has to be either a simile or a metaphor or none of the above, because for all we know, Charlotte's going to put down, I like pickles. And that's not a simile or metaphor, that's just Charlotte being weird. So you're going to have to say simile, metaphor, or none of the above. Then tell me what two nouns are being compared, Charlotte and a pickle. And then you're going to have to tell me, and this is the last part where it gets tricky, what do they have in common? You have to tell me why they're making this comparison. If I say Harlow's shirt is a giant piece of bubble gum, is it because we're going to chew on it, or is it because of the color? So if for some reason Slavey goes, my shoes are like a desk, we're going to go, huh? And you have to have a reason why you're comparing shoes to a desk. I found this out the hard way because sometimes kids would just put two random nouns together and just look around my room and go, the R2-D2 is like a binder. And I would go, why? And they'd go, because I saw that and I'm like, that doesn't work. So have a reason why you're comparing these two things. Also, here's what makes it fun. If Xavier makes a mistake and she reads something and it's a simile and he says metaphor, it impacts all of you. What? Here's how impact learning works. You all get to work together. Because if he makes a mistake, there's an impact that helps all of you learn. So, anytime you hear a mistake, what you have to do to let me know he's made a mistake is you cover your ears. And that lets me know that you know that something bad. Now, here's the problem. As soon as I see your hands go near your ears, that means you say he's wrong and you volunteer to go. So as soon as you're sitting there and he goes simile and you just go and cover your ears, I'll look over and go, Melina Marie, what is it you say? And so as soon as your hands go near your ear, now you could have faith in Xavier. Maybe he knows what he's talking about, and you just have faith and we'll see what happens.
I don't like that.
Oh,
Never
one
do
last
that
thing.
again.
When Xavier is going to go next and read his example, he cannot read what was read to him. So if she reads a simile, you read a
Metaphor.
If she does a metaphor, you read a. Now, if she does none of the above because she's a special child, you get your choice of what you want to read. Charlotte! Xavier's super excited.
I just broke my pencil.
And she just broke her pencil with excitement. All right.
Okay. Charlotte moves like a sloth.
Charlotte moves like a sloth. And she ate.
Yeah.
That's a good idiom, by the way. Krista really likes those.
I literally only did it one time.
Xavier, simile, metaphor, or none of the above? Simile. Molly? Oh.
Wait, no, I was like, oh,
You sure?
Cause
Now
you're
remember, I'm old, and so as soon as I see your hands come anywhere in this area, my old man vision is going to think that you're saying he's wrong and you volunteered.
No.
Okay, apparently you're right, Xavier. Good job. What two nouns are being compared? Charlotte and sloth. Not bad. And what do they have in common? Now here's what's going to be tough. It's not always in the sentence. You're going to have to use this thing called a brain. When she says Charlotte moves like a sloth, is it because they can jump really agilely?
That's because she's slow.
Shh, you're not Xavier. Xavier, you nicely done. Apparently Krista's really excited, and I don't want to make her wait. Xavier, you get to read one to Krista so she can channel all of her excitement.
No, thank you.
She said, please hurry up. She's excited.
No, thank you.
Your cat is an ugly monster.
I think that's a metaphor.
I don't need you to think. I need an answer.
It's a metaphor.
Good job. Comparing what two nouns?
Wait, can you say?
You can. Your cat is an ugly monster.
Cat and monster.
Cat and monster. Good job again. And what do they have in common?
The cat is ugly like the monster.
Nice to know. Good job, Krista. How are you? Krista, let's have you read yours for Celia.
Okay,
Ooh,
this is like a piece of cake. No, this job is like a piece of cake.
This drawing or job?
Job.
This job is, this job is like a piece of cake, or this job is like a piece of cake. A simile. It works since you said like in there. And because you took a, don't you throw hands at me. You used an idiom.
Wait, I have a question.
Hi, Krista.
When did they just know if it's why are you asking if it's a similar or metaphor? Because you already said that you just switch it. Like each person just
Because it could be none of the above.
One, it could be none of the above. The other issue is, if you look around, half these kids aren't paying attention because I haven't said their name. So that's where the impact learning comes in. You're right. Most of my class is easy if you pay attention.
was I paying attention?
You were, but most kids aren't. See, let's find out. Celia, what'd you say it was? You said it was a metaphor?
No, a simile.
Oh, dang it, worth a try. You said simile. What two nouns are being compared?
Like you said.
We can. That job is like a piece of cake.
This.
I'm sorry. This job is like a piece of cake.
The job and the cake.
Job and cake. We'll count that. Technically it was peas, but we'll roll with that one. And what do they have in common?
It's not a person, place, or thing.
Wait, stop.
Don't
Don't
do
dare
that.
hit that.
Don't.
This job is like a piece of cake.
No wonder
why
why
you
you
said
said
put
put
it
it
up
up to the
What's that?
Like the job is easy.
True.
How
And I know, that's the problem, is because you used a thing that's not a simile or a metaphor. You used a thing called an idiom, but it works for now.
Actually,
You
again.
did. That's why I said you really like idioms. Just keep using idioms. Next week when we teach idioms, you'll be like, this is for me! And you'll be all excited.
Before I even said that.
I know. It's all good. So Leah, nicely done. Let's have you read yours for Hudson.
Wait, so Stevens. Okay.
What?
Your ceiling is a forest.
So your ceiling is a forest.
So, it's comparing a forest and a ceiling.
So what is it? Simile, metaphor, or none of the above?
Wait, can you read it again?
Your ceiling is a forest.
A metaphor.
Oh, good job. What two nouns are being compared?
Ceiling and forest.
And what do they have in common?
I need to hear it again.
Your ceiling is a forest.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad.
Is this where you want to say R2D2 is a binder? I'm sure Celia has a good reason, which she'll explain in a moment. You can't yet. We have to figure out, what did Hudson get from this metaphor when you say the ceiling is a forest? What do you think?
They're both like a forest.
Because there's a whole bunch of squirrels running along it? So why is it like a forest?
Because they're both messy.
That would work. Now why did you say the ceiling's like a forest?
Yeah, because it was messy and like. No, I'm being so for real. And
For real, for real?
like, yes, and like there's so much, like a forest. There's so much. Like,
You have
the
stains on
animals-
your roof.
I mean,
Those right there?
Yeah.
Those aren't stains. That's from me hitting the ceiling.
oh,
There's a story I do later this year, and it involves me swinging a thing, and that's from me hitting the ceiling.
Okay, we have a stain right there.
That is a stain. That was not me hitting the ceiling on that one, so it's okay from there. Hudson! Apparently, Lily would really like to go next.
but I really don't.
No, your heart spoke to me, just like Krista's did earlier. Oh, hearts are the best. Hudson!
My dog is a sloth. Wait, no. My pet rock is as awesome as a dog.
My pet rock is as awesome as a dog.
Yeah.
Okay? Simile, metaphor, or none of the above? You sure?
Wait, can you say it again?
My pet rock is as awesome as a dog.
He's messing with you.
Oh, good job. Comparing what two nouns?
The rock and the dog.
Nicely done. What do they have in common?
I mean, they both are. They're both cool.
Or awesome. Either one would work on that. Good job, Lily. You seem so scared on that one. It was so silly of you. Lily, let's have you read yours for Corey.
The night sky is a black hole.
Ooh, the night sky is a black hole.
A metaphor?
That's fast. All right. Comparing what two nouns?
The sky and a black hole.
Ooh, what do they have in common? They're both? Are you asking me? Actually, not. All right, that was, you guys seem to be doing pretty well. Well, then we'll do like 2 more. Read yours for Jada.
You're as big as a car.
I'm pretty sure he's not talking to you. I think that was just an example. All right. He said, you're as big as a car? You're as big as a car. Simile, metaphor, or just mean? Good job. Comparing what 2 nouns? Big and car
Because they're both big.
is incorrect. One of those is an adjective.
Sorry.
You are as big as a car. We're still Jada. We're not giving up on her.
I'm so sorry.
I covered my
You
hair.
and car. Good job. You and car. And what do they have in common? They're both?
I didn't
Nice
know
to
you
us.
could say that. It was like I just made me laugh so like
Just the worstest.
I
Ugh.
literally forgot.
Jada, let's have you read yours for Jared. It just means low battery.
Oh, my mom has a heart of gold.
My mom has a heart of gold.
I don't think anyone's right.
If it helps, Krista would really like this one.
Literally, you're not funny. Like I didn't.
Jared, it is in a special way. Comparing my mom has a heart of gold.
It's an idiom.
So would you say my mom has a heart of gold or my mom is a heart of gold?
My mom has.
My mom has a heart of gold. Okay. So comparing what 2 nouns? Yeah, and this is where it gets weird. We're not comparing her mom to gold. We're also not comparing her mom to a heart. So that's why idioms don't really work as well, because I say what 2 nouns are being compared. Tomorrow, I get to make it tougher on you.
What?
This was the easy version.
You didn't go to